Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the Orly Radical Optimism collection for spring 2019. Thank you to Amanda for just texting me the name of this collection because I threw the box out and I couldn't find it online anywhere. So it's Radical Optimism. There are 6 polishes here altogether. I do the Orly Color Pass. If you haven't heard of that, it's like a subscription service for Orly collections. You buy it like by the year and they send you every collection that year along with like a couple bonuses in the boxes. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, but yet I still like never make Orly videos. And last summer, Orly actually gave me a coupon code for a discount for Color Pass for you guys, but I still hadn't done an Orly video, so it never got shared. And remember when I said I fell off the wagon? Like, I fell off the YouTube wagon. So I have that for you now, but I did want to show you, so my color, and I pay for Color Pass, this isn't like a PR thing, but so everybody's is the same every month. So this month, which was the spring box, there was this little sample of, I don't even know, Pure Lease, like a facial moisturizer, and then also a full-size bottle of Orly Nail Trition Nail Growth Treatment, like a strengthening treatment. I haven't tried this yet, but it came with a full-size bottle of it. Anyway, plus the 6-piece collection. So I want to say I think it's 10% off. I'll leave it in the description box and I'll pin a comment as well because I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I do have a discount code for the Color Pass if you're interested in that. Let me look up and see how much it is though, because I just renewed, and because I was like previously had Color Pass, I was able to lock in last year's rate. So I think for everyone else it's going to be a little bit more than what I paid. So let me see how much it is. Because Orly doesn't do like any in-between collections. They really just do a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter. So it's for 4 collections out of the year. This says it's $119. I want to say I renewed mine for $109, but I didn't have the discount. I know I sound like I'm selling this to you, but I'm just kind of trying to explain how it works. So I'll link the discount code down below if you're interested in that. Obviously I do it because I do this, so it's easy just to have the whole collections coming to my door all the time. I'm not sure how it fits for the average person, but if it's something you're interested in, I have a discount code. Anyway, after all of that, 6 polishes altogether. Cricut is on my desk here, and I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called Lavella, and this is a lighter, slightly pinky neutral shade. So this one is a bit sheer on that first coat, but for being a lighter color, it does cover pretty well. There are a few streaks there. The formula on this one is just a little bit thin. I don't think it's quite too thin, but it's close. I'm having to be very, very careful with it. So this one does start to build up a bit here on the second coat. It looks pretty good. I honestly can't remember if I did 2 or 3 coats for my pictures. I'm going to let this dry all the way just to see if it dries a little bit more sheer. Right now it's looking pretty good in 2, but it's looking really, really close to needing 3. So if it dries any more sheer than it is now, I'm going to need a 3rd coat. I'm not sure if they'll pick up on camera, but this did dry a little bit streaky still on that second coat, so I'm going to add a 3rd. But that should cover everything up because they were fairly minor. So that is 3 coats of Lavella. The next polish is called Everything's Peachy, and this is a light peach cream. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat, but again, for a lighter color, it's decent. It does have some streaks. And like the last one, the formula feels a little on the thin side for me. So this one does start to build up on that second coat. I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm going to need a 3rd for this just based on the last polish, because it's very, very close to not covering completely right now, and I think once it dries, it's going to be a little bit more sheer. And like the last one, this one dried just a little bit too streaky for me to leave it at 2 coats. And I don't know if I caught it on camera, but I did notice after I finished my second coat that this ring finger was all flooded down the sides. And I think that's a combination of me being really tired right now and the formula being a little bit thin. So that is 3 coats of Everything's Peachy. The next polish is called Spirit Junkie, and this is a light purple with a purple shimmer. The purple shimmer is very subtle even in the bottle, so it's not going, if I remember correctly, it's not going to stand out too much on the nails. So this one is also a bit sheer on that first coat. It's a little bit thin like the last ones, or a little bit on the thin side for me. Now I prefer thicker formulas, but I still think these are a little bit thin.
It is a little bit streaky as well, but some of those streaks do seem to level out. Still, I'm assuming I'm going to need 3 coats though. So this one, I think I'm definitely going to need 3 coats on still. I have some streaks that I can see even now, and usually those do get a little bit more apparent after it dries. 3 coats I don't think is like super unheard of for any kind of light pastel color though. So this one did still have some streaks that I wanted to cover up on that 3rd coat. The shimmer that's in here doesn't stand out super well. It does add a little bit of a glow to the polish, but it doesn't really stand out as like an obvious shimmer. So that is 3 coats of Spirit Junkie. The next polish is called Coming Up Roses, and this is a medium pink cream. So this one is also a little bit sheer on that 1st coat. This almost looks a little bit jelly-ish because it's a deeper color, so I would expect it to be a little bit more opaque if it was a cream, but the formula looks slightly jelly-ish to me. I can't tell if I'm getting used to the thinner formula or if this one is a little bit better, a little bit less thin. So this one is starting to build up on that 2nd coat. I think I am probably still going to need a 3rd though, just to cover up a few streaks. The 1st coat did dry a bit more sheer than it applied, so I'm assuming that the 2nd coat will do the same thing. I also do think this has a little bit better of a formula, a little bit less thin for me. So this one does cover completely in 3 coats. I did have some streaks after the 2nd coat, but I also had some pretty visible nail line on a few nails, and I just don't know why my camera doesn't pick it up. And all of these so far have dried pretty shiny in the few minutes that I have given them to dry before I take them off. So that is 3 coats of Coming Up Roses. The next polish is called Positive Coral-ation, and this is a coral cream. So this one also has a bit of a jelly-ish finish and is a bit sheer on that 1st coat. I keep going back and forth on this because I really can't tell if I'm just getting used to the formula or if these last 2 polishes have been a little bit thicker in a good way. Just had a little bit easier of a time controlling the last 2. So this one looks pretty good on the 2nd coat, but I'm going to assume that it's going to dry a little bit more sheer and need a 3rd coat because all of the other ones have so far. Yeah, looking at it a little bit closer, I can still see some nail line even when it's wet. So I'm still adding a 3rd coat to this one because I can see a bit of nail line and some streaks. But I will say I don't think it's as obvious as it was with the last polish. And this one also dries pretty shiny. So that is 3 coats of Positive Coral-ation. The next polish is called Glass Half Full, and this is this really amazing bright sky blue shade. This does have a blue shimmer to it, but if my memory serves me, it's very similar to the shimmer that was in Spirit Junkie, where it's not super obvious once it's on the nail. So this one is pretty opaque on the 1st coat, not fully, obviously. There are still some streaks. But looking at this, I think it's going to be a 2-coater. I did my swatch pictures so long ago that I don't remember anything, because I also can't ever remember to take notes. So formula on this one is definitely for sure not thin like the other ones. The last 2, I was a little on the fence about whether they were better or not, or if I was just getting used to it. This is like for sure not as thin. So this one does cover completely for me in 2 coats. It looks like a pretty solid 2-coater right now. It does dry a bit dull, so you will want top coat, and like the other one, the shimmer is not like a very bright, stark, contrasting shimmer. It adds a little bit of a glow, like a glowy look to the polish, but overall, probably not going to look like there's shimmer in here. Actually, I'm going to let that dry all the way before I say that it's a 2-coater, because it looks a little on the fence right now. I didn't think it did until I put it closer to my face, but I'm going to let that dry just in case it gets a little bit more sheer. Okay, I let this dry for a couple of minutes. I really don't think it needs a full 3rd coat, but hopefully you can see I do have a streak that showed up here on my pinky finger and maybe one on my middle finger that's way more subtle, but I don't think it's enough to do a full 3rd coat, but that is what I'm working with after 2. So that is 2 coats of Glass Half Full.
So Glass Half Full is going to be my favorite. I really, really wanted this to be a cream. Not like I don't already have creams in this color, but when I got it and saw that there was like a little tiny bit of shimmer in it, I was a little disappointed because I just like my cream polishes. I will say though, this is the first Orly collection that I can think of in a while that didn't have like a weird frosty metallic thrown into it, so I kind of like that. I just destashed a bunch of polishes recently and I was like pulling all of those out of the Orly drawer and getting rid of them because I just don't wear those kind of colors, and that's like obviously like, not every collection should be catered to me. I'm just saying I personally am happy that there's no like frosty metallic in there. So I did want this to be a cream, but the shimmer is so subtle that it can still pass and it's still my favorite. So that is glass half full. So that is the Orly Radical Optimism collection for spring 2019. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.